It's time for a big clash at the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League. We have the 5-time world champion, the legend of Indian chess, Vishy Anand, on the left, representing Ganges Grandmasters. The guest makes the first move and the players shake hands, and his opponent for today, the reigning world champion, Domaraju Gukesh, 19 years of age. Vishy, 56 years old. Vishy has been kind of a mentor for Gukesh. He's helped him in the past. Gukesh, part of the Westbridge Anand Chess Academy as well. So this clash is much more than just a game of chess between two strong players. It will be very interesting and exciting to follow. They've played 3 times before in Blitz and Rapid, and the score is 2-1 in the favor of Gukesh, but this is the first time that Gukesh is playing after becoming a world champion against Vishy Anand. We have the Sicilian on the board. E6, will Vishy go for the open Sicilian? Will pawn to d4? He takes a bit of time here, and he does it. Pawn to d4, pawn takes pawn, knight takes. Gukesh's opening choice, a6. Sicilian Khan shows that he wants to play for a win. He wants to fight. Pawn to c4, creating the Maroczy bind. Knight to f6, you can't push the pawn. There's a check and you lose it. So knight c3, bishop b4, pinning the knight. And now Vishy plays the move queen d3, a very interesting move by Vishy Anand. Surprisingly, this was the same move that Magnus played against Vishy in their 2014 World Championship match. Bishop comes out to e2. And by the way, Vishy in that game had played knight c6. But Gukesh goes queen c7, bishop e2. And now he plays his knight to c6. You can castle here simply. Or you can move your knight away. You can even take on c6. He takes it. Knight takes c6. And the best move now is to take it back with the d pawn. Gukesh does it. D takes c6 is on the board. And Anand asks, was about to make a move, asks the question to the bishop. Now if you take here, you can't take the pawn on e4 because g7 is hanging. So that's the reason why Gukesh comes back. He preserves his bishop. He tries to take control of these dark squares. And now pawn to h3 played by Anand so that when he castles, the h2 pawn is not hanging. Gukesh castles here, and now Vishy also castles. He wants to play f4 and e5. That's the plan. So rook to d8 makes a lot of sense because bishop h2 check and the queen is hanging. So Vishy goes queen e3. Now once again trying for f4 break. And he goes bishop e5. Now you can't play f4 because bd4 and you lose the queen. So Anand plays rook d1, a very cool move here. And Gukesh chops it off. Bishop, rook takes rook. And now Vishy takes back, bishop takes. If you take on c3 here, I'll take back with the queen and knight e4. Queen e3 is still very good compensation with the bishops. So bd7 played here. And now Anand brings his knight back. He's now going to play f4. So Gukesh comes back. Bishop to d6. In order to meet f4 with maybe e5, he plays pawn to c5. Pushing forward. Bishop e7. And Anand slowly getting a small edge because he's pushed his pawn here. b4 played, trying to get the bishop out from b2. But Gukesh now makes a double attack on the rook and the pawn on e4. But it's a mistake because Anand has this very nice move, knight c3. I'm pretty sure Gukesh wants to play knight e4 here because if knight takes knight, this is hanging. If queen takes knight, queen c3. But bishop b2 followed by f3 is a winning position for white. So he plays a5 and you can feel it that the queen is now misplaced here. on e5 square. It's going to get hit, and sometimes at top level such tactical calculation errors lead you to a worse position. Now f4 could be possible, but knight a4, knight b6 looks really strong. Vishy goes e5, and Gukesh is now happy because he does get the d5 square for his knight. Queen comes out to d4, and f4 maybe next is happening. Gukesh takes some time. I think the best move now for black is to break in the center with f6. It's a bit cramped, but this bishop would get a square from e8 to g6, and that's what he does. Excellent move by Gukesh. f6, he's fighting back in the game, and Anand now pushes f4. Now look at this, pawn takes pawn, and bishop e8 with the idea of bishop g6 leads to equality. He plays bishop e8, and Vishy goes bishop g4. You could push f5, but then your bishop won't get this diagonal, so maybe queen d7 makes a lot of sense. He pushes f5, hitting the bishop, bishop f3, pressurizing the knight in the center, and now h6 played by Gukesh. He wants to get some play, so g5 is his idea. Bishop comes back to e2. Maybe Anand just wants to put his bishop on c4, and Gukesh goes g5. Interesting move. Knight takes d5 taken by Vishy. C takes. Now black's structure is looking quite solid, but white has a majority here, 2-1, and can create a passer. And I love this move, rook a1, fighting back for the a file. He goes queen c8. Maybe a good idea was to take and play b6 to kind of break this structure, but queen c8. Now Vishy brings his bishop out to e3. Gukesh brings his king up. Both players have trying to improve the position. Anand has 9 minutes on the clock. He's playing fast. 5 minutes 23 seconds for Gukesh. King h2, queen to b8, and now queen to c3. The point being b5, c6 is coming in soon. Queen e8, Gukesh waits here. His moves are more difficult. Vishy can sense it. He takes on g5, and Gukesh thinking whether he should take with the bishop or the pawn. He takes with the pawn here, and now bd4, just placing the bishop on a good diagonal, getting ready for b5 move, and rook c8 played. This just gives up the control of the a file, and this seems like the big error by Gukesh, because now Vishy can enter in. He does it. Rook a7. I love this move. Gukesh has to decide how to defend the pawn on b7. He goes queen to c7, defending it, and Vishy has a very powerful move, bishop a6 here, and he finds it. What a beautiful move. You can't take because the queen is hanging. So he goes bishop c6, defending the pawn, but in comes b5. Vishy finds it. Queen b8, attacking the rook on a7. Has Vishy blundered here? Has he gone wrong? Bishop takes b7. Rook c7 played. And now the main point was, if you take here, I take on c8. So that's the reason why rook c7, and he takes on c6. Rook takes a7 and b6, pushing forward. Rook a2 played. And now he's attacking something here, but look at these two pawns and the bishop, so strong. It's such a wonderful game by Anand. g4, Gukesh trying to create some counterplay on the king side with g takes h3, but it's not working out. c6, the pawn is just 2 steps away from queening. Is there anything that can be done here? He goes queen h8. Would have loved if the queen was not on c3. Then queen takes h3 was a threat with this pin. But Vishy is like, there are no threats here. I'm pushing my pawn forward with 4 minutes 37 seconds. Gukesh has just 9 seconds on the clock. He goes rook a3. I mean, you can take the rook even. But look at Anand getting the queen in his hand. He's going to make a queen. Yes, he makes it. c8 equals queen. Queen h4. And now you simply a queen up in this position. Vishy trying to calm himself down. And bishop takes e6 works brilliantly. Gukesh resigns. Vishy Anand scores an important win here. And look at Gukesh on his face. He's very calm. Vishy says, let's discuss in the back room there. But a big win for Vishy, showing that he's still so good at chess. Truly evergreen he is. And Gukesh, like he does always, puts back his pieces. You can see that Gukesh would be disappointed, but he's lost to someone whom he deeply respects and admires, Vishy Anand. And I think his reaction showed how much respect he has for the great champion who inspired him to take up the sport in the first place itself. A great clash at the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League.